First night, the Austin Police Department is pouring money into a neighborhood identified as a crime hotspot. The department says it's using a $1 million grant from the Justice Department to reduce crime. They'll work with community partners on a project to make the growing Riverside neighborhood safer. KXAN's Eugene Cho is live in Southeast Austin to show us how they'll use that money. Eugene.
Yes, Sydney, the grant is just for the Riverside neighborhood, which certainly has grown a lot in recent years. Tech company Oracle spent hundreds of millions of dollars to build its home base here. That's one street over from where I am. And here on Riverside, you're also seeing a lot of new apartments popping up. But when we looked up APD's crime statistics, we found out this neighborhood is a persistent problem spot for burglaries, robberies, and auto thefts.
Depending upon where you are in Austin, you may or may not feel like you're in that fifth safest city.
That's what's driving this laser-focused initiative, Riverside Togetherness. Chief Brian Manley says the Riverside neighborhood is less than 1% of Austin in size, but close to 10% of the city's rapes and robberies happen here.
This is an area where we have had chronic issues with long-term violent crime.
Steve Larson helps to run after-school programs at Travis High School.
When young people are bored, as I know, having been young once, so when young people are bored, they sometimes do things that are borderline.
He's hoping Riverside Togetherness will involve working with teens too.
We can mix them with officers so that the officers could be on their basketball team, they could be the coach.
Chief Manley told us specific strategies have not been developed yet, but he's keeping in mind just how quickly the neighborhood is growing.
When you have a community or a part of your community that has a more transitory population, people that are not there long term, then that can impact our ability as well.
With all the new apartments being built and more people moving here, the chief's goal for now is to get as many people involved as possible. And Chief Manley told me today the first year of this initiative will focus heavily on data collection and analysis. That will help guide the process they'll go through then to develop those Riverside-specific policing strategies. Live in Southeast Austin, Eugene Cho, KXAN News.
Eugene, thank you. And here's a better look at the area we're talking about. It's from the project's website, riversidetogetherness.com. You heard the police chief talking about the crime. A review of violent crime data from 2013 to 2016 shows about 4% of crime citywide comes from just the 2 square miles in this neighborhood.